Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video on the channel where today we have got another incredible formation view. So if you do want to see more of these formation vids, do drop a thumbs up on the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. If you do want to check out my second channel as well, we're going to be doing lots of other content. This channel is primarily just going to be sort of the formation vids, the meta vids, like tutorial videos, stuff like that. And the second channel eventually is where we're going to start uploading like other aspects of FIFA, whether it be squad builders, whether it be player reviews, whatever we can think of. That's what's going to be going on that channel. So if you want to check it out, make sure you check the link in the description and make sure you hit a sub on that channel. But with that being said, going into this formation, now for me this 4-4-1-1 formation has become a massive favourite of mine post patch. I've been a huge fan of this formation. I've used it a lot in Rivals and I've used it a lot in Draft, and for me it's massively it's a really good formation. It's a formation that I really do like. But looking a little bit deeper into that formation, it is a back four with a 4 in midfield, 2 centre midfielders, a left and right mid, and then a centre forward and a striker. The 4-4-1-1, the second version, the only difference between that is instead of it being a centre forward, it is a cam. Now that has its own positives and negatives, and we could do a review on that if you'd like to see that. But this 4-4-1-1 is the one that I've personally been playing with. I like the centre forward. I like the fact that he's able to link it up really well with the striker and still get those links to that central midfielder, creating a really nice, easy triangle in that midfield, which is really crucial because in this formation, that's where a lot of your play will come from. The wingers in this formation, or the wide midfielders in this formation, are more just there for kind of like versatility in the team, so that not everything's coming through the middle. For me, having width in the team is always important in FIFA, not necessarily because they're there to score goals, but sometimes it's there just to kind of give a little bit of difference to the team. You know, when you're playing like so narrow all the time, it becomes very predictable. So at least having the ball out wide, it can create space. By putting the ball out to one of your wingers, it's going to force one of his midfielders or him to maybe drag one of his fullbacks. One of the two is going to have to come and close you down, and that's going to create space for a midfielder or someone to either run in behind or make a run into that space and possibly create an attack for you. But with that being said, it is a very good formation. I think, you know, it's a good formation, good solid back four. Now in this formation, you don't need to tell your fullbacks to go and get forward, but we're going to go and get into the instructions in a moment. But I think this formation is really good as well because everybody is really tight together and there's not a lot of gaps in this team. You can see, obviously the big negative that I would say on this team is the fact that there is no defensive midfielder. Now for me personally, I always like to play FIFA with a defensive midfielder. I think it gives you a good insurance policy when you have a defensive midfielder. But again, in the instructions, we're going to fix that problem and we're going to show that that working in some of the gameplay clips. But for me, having a CDM is always crucial. But other than that, I think what's good about this formation is it's really compact. But it's compact without being like park the bus or really defensive. You know, you just that everybody, there's not a lot of gaps between your players. Obviously, there's some formations that can cause this formation an issue, but that's the same for every formation. Every formation's got a weakness, and if you do want to see a series on how to counter every single formation, so we could go through each formation and I know what the counter is for every formation, and we can go and do that for a little series if you'd love to see that, and how to break down certain formations, especially some of the more powerful formations in this game, how to counter. But with that being said, going on into the instructions now, as I was talking about before, I decided to have my fullbacks on to stay back while attacking, primarily because we've got those left and right midfielders in front, so we don't necessarily need these fullbacks to go forwards. So because we've got those left and right midfielders, we don't need our fullbacks to go forwards because we've already got plenty of attacking players up the pitch. Whilst it doesn't look like the most attacking formation, in game, if you play with the right tactics, if you was to follow these tactics and instructions, and if your personnel is correct, because personnel is a big thing in this formation, you need to have the right personnel to play with it the most effective way. But with that being said, we've got left and right midfielders, so we don't necessarily need our fullbacks to go forward. So for me, I want to keep those that back four especially safe, and more certainly because we don't have a defensive midfielder. I think it's more important that the back four is in position because we don't have that defensive mid to protect. So moving on into the wide midfielders. Now the wide midfielders were quite interesting. I did tinker around with the wide midfielders because there's a couple of ways you can play with the wide mids. You can either decide that your wide midfielders are going to be there as more of a distraction, or you can decide that your wide midfielders can get involved in the play and possibly score goals. Now for me, I like to have the wide midfielders do a little bit of both. And to do that, obviously, we set the support runs to get in behind. Now, because they're wide midfielders, they're left and right mids, not wingers. Because they're starting from a deeper position, it's going to take them a little bit more time to be able to make those runs in behind, because they need to make up the difference between being a left mid and a left winger. They need to make that up. and then make the running behind, so it takes a little bit more time. So you have to be a little bit more, a bit more possession based and a little bit more patient waiting for them to get in behind, but eventually they do make some very good runs in behind. And I also decided to have them on getting into the box because I want them to make those runs into the box, those darting runs into the box, especially because for me, I'm someone that likes to go down the wing. I'm someone that likes to go down the wing and look for cutbacks, so I want that extra player in the box, but I don't want to drag my midfielders into the box, so I want the wingers to get into the box. Now when it comes to defensive support, I want them on basic because we've got the fullbacks on staying back. You could possibly leave them on stay forward. I think because you want to have that compactness in defense as well as attack. For me, I think just basic, so they're going to move up and down the pitch at the same speed. And as I said, with chance creation, this is more how you want to play. For me, if you want your players to get more involved and be more attacking, your wide players, by making those runs cutting inside, they're going to cut in between the fullback and the centre back, so they're going to make more darting runs in between rather than on the outside. If you leave them on balanced width, they're going to make runs on the outside and they're going to make runs on the inside, but obviously when you're on cut inside, they're going to make those runs in between the fullback and the centre back. So it depends on how you want to play. You can leave them on stay wide, and obviously they're going to really hug the touchline and really stretch the pitch, which if you're going to stretch the pitch is quite important because it's going to mean that his midfielders are going to have to come out of position to come and close you down, and then that's going to mean that your central midfielders are going to have more space in the midfield to be able to make those runs in behind, and then make those runs and passes in behind to your strikers and your centre forward. So it's more how you want to play. I think probably for me the most effective ways to play would probably be to play on balanced or stay wide. I think that's going to create more chances than leaving them on cut inside. I think if you go cut inside, it's just going to make everything too narrow in my opinion. So I think the most effective way to play is to play on balanced or to play on stay wide. Moving into the midfield, again, the midfield, this is probably the most important part of this formation. The midfield is the most important part of this formation. You have to get these two midfielders right. For me, I probably don't have the right midfielders, or Alan is not the right midfielder to play in this because he's not necessarily. You need box-to-box midfielders. Because they're playing as centre midfielders, you need those box-to-box mids. So players like this Nainggolan, a Paul Pogba, Goretzka, Vidal, they're the sort of players that are great for this formation because you need players that can attack and defend because they're going to do a bit of both. Because obviously you're going to be making those runs forward, so that you need someone that can shoot, that can play those intricate passes in behind, but you also need someone that can defend and cut passing lanes and be strong and man mark as well. So it's important that your personnel is right, but for me, I've got them on stay on edge of the box because I don't want them getting into the box, because if they're going into the box, it's going to make it a lot easier for my opponents to counter, especially given the fact that we don't have a central defensive midfielder. It's going to make it a lot easier to get countered if we was to just leave them on balance or get in the box. And of course, we left them on cover centre. You never want to play cover wing, especially because we've got wingers. We just need to be covering the middle of the pitch. I actually found the most effective way to play, because I was playing with just them as box-to-box mids, because I don't have the right personnel. This is purely because of who I have. I decided to use Alan and use him on drop between defenders because he's already essentially a CDM. He would drop into that back four when you're attacking, and it would become a back five. So if you get countered, for example, what I found a lot of the time is I had the 6 players moving forwards, the front 6 as it were, and I would turn over possession of the ball, and I would then just be left. He would be straight up attacking my defense, my back 4, and you never want to control any of your back 4 unless the ball gets to the edge of your box, unless you have to make that challenge. And when I had Alan in that defence, and he would be in the back 5 when my opponents were attacking, and then he would come out, and then he would be the one that I'd be able to control, so I didn't have to control one of my centre-backs. So I found that was the most effective way to get around not having a defensive midfielder. If that is something that doesn't bother you, then you don't need to do that. You can just have him sit on balanced, like Nainggolan is, but he obviously needs to be a bit more of an attacking midfielder than Alan. He needs to be someone that can attack a little bit better than Alan and that can pass a little bit better than Alan. But because he's the player that I'm using in this example, I found that using drop between defenders was the most effective way based on my personnel, and that's why I say personnel is really important. You have to have the right personnel when you're playing these sorts of formations. For me, I've got on stay central and getting behind. Again, we've already got a little bit of width in this team with our wingers and our fullbacks, so we don't need to have another player drifting wide. So I want to keep him staying central and obviously getting in behind, making runs beyond Mbappe. I think that's important. You need people making runs in behind. You always need to try and stretch the game. And then Mbappe we've got on exactly the same. We've got him on stay central and getting behind. So it's almost kind of become like a two strikers up front. You know, they're both going to kind of be making those constant runs in behind. So then we want to build on that with our tactics. And going into our tactics, these are the tactics that I did use. And as I say to you guys all the time, I find that instructions are more important than tactics, because for me, regardless of what formation I'm using, typically I'll use pretty much the same tactics for every formation, because I don't feel like tactics are super effective. The only tactic that I think is key is the offensive style, which I wanted to go on long ball. Obviously, we've got, you know, Neymar, we've got Garrincha, we've got Mbappe, we've got Firmino, we've got some pacey players. Obviously, Firmino's not pacey. We've got some pacey players with the other players, so it's important to build on that. Given that we've told our strikers that we want them on getting behind, adding layers on top of that, we want them on long ball, because now they're going to be making even more runs in behind. It's just going to build on that idea that we want to make those runs in behind. We want to give our opponents something to think about in the defense. If everything's just in front, it becomes easy to defend. It's why I think width is kind of necessary in FIFA, because if everything is just in the middle, you know, and in front, it's very easy to defend. So if we're making runs in behind, it's always difficult to defend. Width and depth on the defensive, for me, I've gone for 6 and 6. For me, it's just something that it's a combination that I find is very effective. And defensive style, as I say to you guys all the time, balanced is the way to go. And if you want to learn how to press, you need to try and learn how to manually press yourself. And I always find that team press on the D-pad is a really effective tactic to use, a spot tactic to use for sort of 15-20 minutes. Go on team press and then turn it off, and then turn it on, and then turn it off every sort of 15 or 20 minutes. It just confuses your opponent, and I find that's the best way to go. And players on the box I've left on 5, because obviously I've got all my players in the box instructions set, so I don't want to like negate that by changing it on the tactics. So I've left it on 5 on basic, so it's just going to listen to my instructions that are set, and that's what we want. And then corners I've gone for 3, and free kicks 1. So my tactics normally, as you'll see, don't really change from formation to formation. They're pretty much the same all the time, but the way I set my team up in the instructions is the thing that changes. Yeah, that's the thing that changes the most. But ultimately, this 4-4-1-1 formation was an incredible formation. I think it's a little bit of a hidden gem formation for me. It's a formation that I don't think many people use, and I think for me it's a formation that I've been playing a lot of games with it, and I've been doing really well. Obviously, with every formation, it's no guarantee that you're just gonna start smashing people left, right, and centre. Obviously, you are gonna still lose games, but it's a formation that for me, I've started to win more games than I was before than I am now. I'm still winning a lot more games than I used to be, and I'm taking a lot less losses, and I'm just not conceding as many goals. It's not the most attacking formation, this formation, but it's also not a super defensive formation. It's just a very solid, balanced formation, and I find that it's a very difficult formation, especially for my opponents. And I'm playing in Division 1, it seems to be a very difficult formation for most people to break down. So it's a formation that seems to be very, very effective post-patch, and could possibly be one of a few secret meta formations going forwards. I think I've possibly got a few more, so if you want to see them, make sure you drop a thumbs up on the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well if you're new to the channel, and make sure you check out that second channel, and make sure you hit that sub button on that channel as well, so we can start uploading some vids on there too. But that's all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.